Hi everybody, my name is Jin Ben and welcome to iHome Church. This week I would like to speak on the topic of compassion. I'm sure that many of you have been glued to CNN and different news platforms on the internet and on TV, and I'm sure that many of you were horrified at the recent shooting in Oregon. And again, we had to suffer through more and more lives being carelessly taken down by really young people that have lost their bearing or their connection to God. And so Ben and I could not really just go on without saying a prayer for the victims, as well as the perpetrator of the victims, because we really see it as a tragic loss of life that really need not be. And when I look at some of the things that are going on in our world, in our community, and in our families, I feel that we have to remember, as believers and as religious folks, the importance of the word compassion. For me, the word compassion has two different words that have been united into one word. I mean, to be a compassionate person means to be somebody who's empathetic, somebody who understands the meaning of truly practicing mercy on difficult situations and the importance of forgiveness, and somebody who can really kind of be caring and loving because they understand the other's points of view or the situation, and thereby somehow out of the goodness of our hearts we try our best to uplift that person to really be the son and a daughter of God. And for me, an example of a compassionate human being is not only Jesus Christ, but also my father, the Reverend Sam Myung Moon, and also my mother, Hak Jahan Moon. Through their life example as the true parents of all mankind, I have watched them for over 50 years through incredible victories as well as incredible losses, incredible headways as well as incredible failures. But the incredible thing about these two people is that they never give up. And regardless of the difficulty, they never stop being that compassionate individual. And the reason why I say the word compassion is made up of two words is it has the word compass and it has the word passion when you look at the word compassion. And for me, I think my father, the Reverend Sun Myung Moon, is that compassionate person because his compass, and everybody knows that a compass is really a device where the needle points to the magnetic north, and therefore you can navigate your way on an open sea. And many times it can be used as a metaphor, the north being really God or true parents in our movement. And our life of faith really determines on our ability to really stay aligned and united with our north when we're navigating the waters of our lives. But they really are the ones that, regardless of what life puts on their plates or on their life or on their way, on their path or on their journey, they never waver from pointing the compass to the north. And regardless of how many foggy days, and for those of you who've gone deep sea fishing, like the way I have for many years, many times when we are kind of a seasoned sailor, or when we think we are, we're quite good at looking at visual clues when we're moving out of port and into port, and we know how to navigate through the waters to bring our boat home. But when you're on an open sea, and if you do not have the best of weather. For instance, a fog that's as dense, really, as if you're sitting in the middle of a cotton candy. You cannot even see your hands. Then something like a compass becomes incredibly important. It's really the only way you're going to be able to navigate on an open sea. And you realize time and time again how incredibly important this tiny little thing is that helps you find your way by aligning the needle to the north. And so by understanding which way is north, you can determine where you need to go, what degrees to the right or what degrees to the left. And Father is somebody who really understands the importance of this compass. And he many times he has used the metaphor as a compass while talking to me during those fishing seasons, as the compass in a human being, really being that conscience. We know we were designed by God. We are a reflection of God. And we know what is right and we know what is good. We know what our souls and our hearts move us towards, and everything that we do move us towards God. But it's really all the impediments or all these magnetic fields that we have to really navigate through life that sometimes turns our compass into a awry, and it just goes crazy. But regardless of how difficult it is really in an effort to find that compass, really be able to be united with our conscience, and so that we can be directed or guided by God, to be guided by this compass into safe waters. And my father, by firmly having this unity with his compass or his conscience or his heart or his understanding or a personal bond with God, he really takes that direction and creates this synergistic relationship with this incredibly fired up spirit that he has for God and for the position that he is fulfilling as true parents of all mankind, but in the love that he wants to show the sons and daughters of the world, that we are God's divine beings. He is fired up because he is passionate about his bond or his personal relationship with God. And as the Messiah of all mankind, he wants to teach us. He wants to, in a way, be that spark that ignites the fire within. He wants us to be passionate about God. He wants us to be inspired and empowered with this incredible desire to connect to the world through our love and relationship with God and true parents. Father understands that to be that divine light, somebody who glows from within, like the beacon of light that helps the lost souls back into port. He understands that we have to start with ourselves. We have to be inspired. We have to be passionate about the work that we are doing. And so when I think about our father and I think about our mother, and our mother, Hak Jahan Moon, is really the female version. She is a different character type, but nevertheless, she has a firm grasp on her compass. It's pointed towards God. And she is passionate in that she never gives up. And father's passion might be seen as charisma or external passion, but true mother has just as much a passion as father does in her relationship to God. She may show it in more of an internal strength, but it's passion nonetheless. And so when I look at these two people, they are the ones that I want to exemplify and really work my way around to becoming in my life of faith. For me, they are that example of a compassionate individual. So I very much see them as somebody who is plugged in to that circuitry of true love, or this incredible power that comes from God. And like the beautiful light bulb that you and I all are, we were meant to really cast this beautiful glow to everyone that we love in this world. And when we understand what an incredible instrument we are, and what an incredible and a beautiful reflection of God that we can be, we cannot help but be inspired and be empowered and really wanting to see the world connect to God in the best of ways. So brothers and sisters, sometimes when I think about what is going on in our church and different factions and different groups saying all sorts of different things, I feel that fundamentally we have forgotten how to be that compassionate person and that compassionate community that is on the road to building this incredible compassionate country called Chanyeolguk. Because we have forgotten the importance of being grateful for the opportunity to work with the Messiah, to work with true parents. You know, you have some group basically proclaiming themselves as the fourth Adam. You have another group basically saying that true mother failed and there has to be a new true mother and a newly minted second king of Chanyeolguk because true parents have failed. But if you say that true mother failed, you're basically saying that true parents failed. And if you say true parents failed, then you're inviting to your couple the whole providential restoration spirit world into your couple. And I know that not anybody that claimed to be from father's lineage can stand up to that providential heavyweight that father had to unravel, that true mother had to unravel. Nobody is like our father and our mother. They are unique, important, specially anointed people to fulfill their victorious roles that they have substantiated. And so if we are kind of led astray, if we are led away from our north because of all of these powerful magnetic fields around, we are going to miss the boat. And we are going to lose our way out on the open sea, no matter how well-meaning we are, no matter how driven by the best of intentions we are. We gotta keep ourselves, we gotta keep our eyes and our hearts on the compass, which is God and true parents. So when I look at some of the brothers and sisters and when I talk to them one-on-one, I realize that we have forgotten really the sacrifice or the profundity of the sacrifice that was made by the first generation. You, brothers and sisters, you have given up your life. You have given up a good chunk of all the things that you considered materialistically valuable to really invest in this work of providence. And you have done incredibly well in that you helped true parents accomplish the victorious standing as the true parents of all mankind. You have helped our true parents stand as that victorious son and an Eve of God. We have for the first time this incredible paradigm of true love that we can work with, that we can be guided by, that we can truly really exemplify and work towards embodying the teachings in our lives. But if we don't realize that we are sometimes moving away from our work, I consider a religious work, really a journey about becoming that compassionate man and a woman of God. If we are somehow led astray from our work of compassion, because of all of our resentment or the different anger that we might have towards a particular leader, a particular colleague, or a particular community, and we are led astray, we are actually going to turn our journey from the journey of compassion to really a journey of commission. In that when we are compassionate human beings, we are immediately thinking about the other. We're thinking about living for the sake of other. We are asking ourselves all the time, how can I contribute? What can I give? How can I uplift this person? But when we move from compassion to commission, because we are so resentful And a lot of these groups that have kind of separated from our true parents are led away because of their resentment concerning financial situations, what they consider as financial mismanagement, and so on and so forth. So in a way, we have forgotten that our life is really about a life of gratitude, into really counting pennies and seeing, instead of living a life of what can I give, we have become, through our anger and through our burdens of resentment, we have become a group of people that basically demands, what do I get? What can I get? Where is my piece in this apple pie called the providence? And when we degenerate into that kind of thinking, it's a never-ending abyss. No matter how much you feel you got, it will never be enough, because it's totally contrary to the philosophy of living for the sake of others. Instead of asking the question, what can I give? We have turned ourselves into commission-based people. It's almost as if we are somebody who is commissioned to perform a task. It becomes a duty. It is no longer out of our compassionate desire to serve and to uplift, utilizing our 5% voluntarily. We are complaining that we were these commissioned soldiers of a Heavenly Father that have not been paid well or not been taken care of well. And therefore, we are going to be resentful and we are going to break away and start our own thing. We have to understand that right now we are, as a movement, we are really traveling through one of the most difficult waters in providential history. This is the time when the true understanding of male and female comes into play. The Mother God that has been silent for the last 6,000 years finally begins to speak through the body of our true Mother. And we have to understand that she is doing that absolutely united with our true Father. It is based upon our true Father's foundation that she stands as that victorious Eve. But together they stand as true parents. And sometimes we forget to open up our spiritual eyes, and we realize that in this unity of heaven and earth, our Father up in heaven and our true Mother working here, the providence is unfolding in ways unimagined before. You know, I, as a student of religion, have always suffered when I studied the history of Christianity, because a true understanding of what an original Eve was supposed to be like, or how an original Eve without the effects of the fall would relate to that original or true Adam. All of these things were the big questions that Christianity still to this day cannot recognize. But with the advent of our true parents, our true Father really liberates all womankind through the victory of our true Mother. And we really can really envision, all the sisters, all the mothers can envision a world where women have equal value, equal worth, equal standing. And we're not going to be equal so that we can, abuse our men for 6,000 years of relegating us sisters. But out of our love, the more we are uplifted into that equal value, equal love, equal authority, the more we will uplift our brothers and say, come stand with us. Come work with us. Let's create this world of peace. And it has to start with the unity of men and women. So what we are going through in our church today is 6,000 years of biblical history being worked out. We are facing one of the worst storms on an open sea. And for those of you who have experienced deep sea fishing, like the way I've had the opportunity to do with my father, some of those storms are incredibly scary. You cannot tell the difference between the sky and the waves. You don't know where the water ends. You don't know where the water begins. And the only thing that you really can count on in the middle of this incredible storm is that little compass. That's what's going to, unity with that compass is going to help you navigate through. So during this time, that compass is our true parents. For it doesn't matter how seasoned you are. It doesn't matter what a great sailor you are. It doesn't matter how powerful you are. You don't need that much physical power to unite with a compass. To unite with our conscience. But it starts with you and me. And really, all of our future sons and daughters, our grandkids, our great-grandkids, all of these people yet to be born, they're going to be looking back many hundreds of years and really saying, thank God, my great-great-grandfather, thank God, my great-great-grandmother never wavered and to the end stood with our true parents, to the end stood with our true family. This is really going to be the badge of honor, brothers and sisters. So at this time, when Father says in February 6, 1970, he said, what is the essence of faith? The essence of faith is a heart that is grateful to God. We have to remind ourselves, we have to take ourselves away from the whole of thinking of our lives as that commissioned men and women of God, of the Unification Church, and really kind of move ourselves forward to realize we are meant to be men and women of compassion. Somebody who embodies all the philosophy of living for the sake of others and not just believes it, but applies it in our life of faith. And we have to be grateful for our God, for our relationship with God, for true parents who really introduced God to us as our heavenly parent. We have to be grateful for the gift of the blessing. We have to be grateful for the good leaders and the bad leaders that have made us who we are. And, because through the community, through rubbing up against all sorts of people, we get a chance to bring out the inner diamond in all of us. It takes a lot of polishing. It takes a lot of rubbing up in order to really bring out the brilliance. But that's the work that we are engaged in when we call ourselves proud unificationists. And I remember during fishing season, I was having a difficulty with one of the fishing brothers. And Father said, what if God said to you that the kingdom, whether God is going to allow you to see kingdom of heaven on earth, depends on you winning victory over this person that you absolutely despise. What would your actions be thereafter? And that's really the question we are dealing with now. There are a lot of things that requires an improvement. Well, maybe God is helping you to see those problems because God is counting on you to help work with our true parents to make it happen. God needs you aligned and united and working with the compass to create this world of peace. And if God is to say to you and me, the kingdom of God on earth depends on our ability to love the most difficult person on earth. It might be your father. It might be your mother. It might be your central figure. It might be your pastor. Then, what is our answer going to be? And how are we going to conduct ourselves from today? This is the question that I ask myself every day. And it's a work in progress. And this is the question that I think we as a community must ask, because we need our compass during this time, during this incredible storm. And our compass is our true parents. And the sanctity of the true parents need to be honored, need to be protected, need to be appreciated. We need to appreciate our father and mother that introduced an incredible and a profound relationship that many of us have with God. So brothers and sisters, don't forget to be grateful. You and I can decide to make the right decision by remaining and uniting with our true parents and look forward to a glorious world unfolding, a world of true love. So have a great week and take care.